Kristine from Hokema Sewing and Vacuum, and I am here on our serger wall. We have a full line of sergers from Baby Lock, everything from the Vibrant, which I have clear down here, all the way up to my Triumph. We have got everything in between, and they're here for you to test drive. The one that we're going to talk about right now is our Anniversary Edition. This was a special edition that came out this year. We only have a couple of these left, but it's got a lot of really special features, and we want to make sure that you get to see them. That is this one right here. Now, she is a traditional overlock, which means she's going to work on the edge of the fabric. This is what we usually use for construction thinking. If you look at the inside seams of most of your ready-made garments, those are going to be serged seams. The machine will do the overlock. It will do a rolled hem beautifully. In fact, I won't even do a rolled hem on a regular sewing machine anymore. I'm coming to my serger. So I really like that. This one has another feature that's really special in that it allows us to do the wave stitch, which is a Baby Lock patented stitch, and it literally puts a wave, thank you to my assistant behind the scenes, this kind of a decorative wave stitch on things that we've used on this handle. Before I get too much further, I want to let you know about some of the things that actually come with the 55th Anniversary Edition as some of the specials right now. And we only have a few of these left, but one of them is the Sweet Seams Fat Quarter Package. And we've got a nice, beautiful selection of high quality fabrics. This is a Baby Lock exclusive. That's gonna come with this machine as long as we still have it in stock. And then we also have, and this is what I'm most excited about, and that is the 55th Anniversary Serger Guide. And you're going to find in here absolutely beautiful pictures with beautiful explanations of what they're showing you. So if you want to learn how to set up a certain stitch or a certain foot, or you want to know what something does, you can look in this book and it's going to show you step by step. This is in addition to the manual. So it's not an either or. You're going to get this, plus you're going to get the manual. The manuals tend to be a little more cut and dry, a little more there's not a lot of pictures in the manuals, okay? We'll just put it that way. And a lot of times they're written for engineers more than for us. This is written for us by the educators at Baby Lock. And you know Baby Lock educators really can't be beat. So it's going to show you how to do the ruffles, how to do the rolled hem, how to install a zipper, all kinds of wonderful things. And it's going to be that thing that helps remind you even after you've had your owner's classes that when we've talked about these things. So those are going to come with your Anniversary Edition. That's about $160 worth of value added to the machine. Here and kind of do an overview of her. This area right here is where our tension discs live. This one has automatic tension delivery, and we don't have to mess with our knobs, and we'll get into that a little bit later. We have our wave and our overlock right here. This is the switch that we're going to tell the machine what we want to do. The overlock is traditionally what we want to do for the edge of our fabric when we're doing construction, or even if we're doing a rolled hem. It's the one that goes over. We also have a wave option here. Baby Lock has a patented stitch, they're the only ones that have it, called the wave stitch, and this machine is capable of doing that, but we have to, it's a special threading and we have to tell it that we want to do it, and that's what we do there. Now if we go down the right hand side of the machine over here, we do have right here our area where we get to tell the machine what kind of stitching we want to do. And there's a threading chart that comes with the machine that will tell you the entire setup and whether or not we need it on A, B, C, or D. I'm going to give you a little hint. If you have both needles in, most of the time you're going to want it on A. If you just have the left needle in, most of the time you want it on A. If it is on the right needle only and you're doing overlock stitching, you're going to want it on B. If you're doing a rolled hem, you will have the right needle in and you will have it on D. Don't worry about remembering all of that because you're going to get it in a threading chart with this machine that's really easy to read, and it'll tell you each and every time. So that is our threading. Now I have our threading ports right here. This is air driven and we just have to push to thread when we're ready to do that. This is, the U stands for upper, the L stands for lower, and that's lets you know which one of the loopers you are getting ready to thread. Now as we move down the machine here, we have this little square, and what this says here is HAX1SP/CR, and then it's giving you two other numbers, and those are actually needle sizes. There's a 7511 and a 9014. This is telling you what needles your machine needs. So that makes that super easy. When you come into the shop and you say, hey, I need serger needles, we're going to ask you which serger you have, or we're going to look you up. And oftentimes we'll just come look at this. You tell me you have the anniversary edition, I'm coming here and I'm looking right there. And then I'll know which needles to get you and make sure that we get you the ones that are going to be optimal for your machine. Now, in the bottom of the machine here, it says threading in this door, and it goes through all the steps for threading. So if it's been a minute and you might need a refresher, it's right here for you. So you don't even have to go look for your manual. I'm going to go ahead and close this up. Right here, I have a bunch of numbers. This area is telling me what my differential feed ratios are. This item over here is my little knob. This moves up and down. And if you're ever wondering if it's where it belongs, what I want you to do is put it all the way to the bottom and then click up twice. Once you do that, you will always be on the end. And this is true of every Baby Lock air thread machine. Now, over here, we have some numbers. The numbers happen to be ratios, and they happen to correlate to how the feed dogs over here move in relation to the foot and in relation to each other. The Baby Lock Sergers have a split in the feed dogs. So there's a set of feed dogs here, there's a space, and then there's a set of feed dogs here. That's how the differential feed works. It controls how those move in relation to each other so that we can do things like gather, where we want to put in more ripples in our fabric for the stitches to stitch down and create our gathering, or maybe we want to take some of the stretch out of our fabric, and we can do that there too. If you've ever sewn two pieces of fabric together where one ends up a different length than what you started out with, that's happening because one of them is stretching. This helps take that stretch out. Now I'm reaching back here. We can't see it from the front of the video, but this is where my presser foot lift is. Okay, it's just right there. You can also do this with this machine. I do that probably more than anything else because I use this foot to help me hold my fabric. This is my needle threader. Now right now it's not coming all the way down because I'm not set up to thread. And that's another thing I absolutely love about this machine is if I pay attention to it, it's telling me I'm not ready to do what I want to do. I just have to pay a little bit of attention. Okay, now we come down here, we have our serging and our threading settings. Now on this one, if I want to thread, I'm going to come over here and move this down, and I'm going to open this up for you so that you can see what's going to happen down here. I'm going to turn that hand wheel towards me, and I have my threading tubes here that just engage. That allows us to use the air threader. Okay, I'm going to open that back up for right now, and all I have to do that is put it back on serging. Then I have my knobs over here. This top one is for my width control. And I think you'll see it better if I put this back up. Okay, so here it is. If I move this, do you see how this is moving? It's moving my blade, and with it, this shield. That's controlling how far my blade is from my needles. Now on this, there are going to be two different numbers that are very close together, and sometimes that can be confusing if you don't know what they are. And literally what those are is the smaller number pertains to the right needle, the larger number pertains to the left needle, and what this is the distance in millimeters that the needle is from the blade. All right, so you get to control that. Now the next knob I have here is my lockout blade, and if I come over here and turn that, you may see a little bit of writing on there. It says lock. I have literally just told my blade that it can't come to the party. I'm going to go ahead and put that back the other way. And then this lower one here is my length, and I remember it because lower is length. And there's some two sets of numbers on here. They both go through 4. One of them, like I have right here, is simply normal numbers. But if I turn it here, you can see I now have, I can turn it all the way around the other way. If it stops going one direction or the other, just go back the other way, okay? Because my selection is actually up here on top. You can't see that behind this guy here, but it is. So now that you see where those numbers have the dark kind of oval around them, that's putting me in the setting for rolled hems. Okay, so that's what that is. And I just remember that this one is my length because lower equals length, LL. They both start with an L. That makes it super easy. Okay, so that is our general tour of the front of our Baby Lock 55 Anniversary Edition Serger.